G Live!
G
Yan lang.
Live!
Huwag
Hello
papagising.
everyone, welcome back to G Live Game Night. Today is a Wednesday and we're going to do a top
Woo!
shelf. Come on, top
Cool.
shelf. We
It's
haven't
been a while.
done a top shelf in quite some time. But uh top shelf is a show that we have wherein we put things on a shelf that fits a certain category. And
Mm-hmm.
tonight's category is top shelf things that will help you play or run a campaign in D&D or any other tabletop role playing game. Why? Because
Mm-hmm.
this weekend we are going to have the D&D Fantastic Fair with our partners from the Greasy Snitches.
Yay!
Greasy Snitches, if you're watching, say hi and hello. Speaking of
Exciting.
which, speaking of highs and hello, if you're in the chat right now, say hi, say hello, say what's up, say anong ulam mo, Willow, ganon.
Hmm. Yeah.
Anong ulam mo, Willow?
Fried chicken. I always eat
Fried
fried chicken.
chicken. Come on, fried chicken. Uh, but yeah, uh, so we do have a question for the stream right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, we do have a question on the stream. After you say hi and hello to our friends, to us, and to the chatters, we'd like to know what color of dice would you pick for your first D&D game and why? Sa
Oh,
mga naglaro na ng D&D or any tabletop role-playing game, let us know if you used already a set of dice or your favorite set of dice,
favorite, yes.
or if you would start your first game this weekend or soon or wherever. What color of dice would you pick and why? I think there's gonna be
Yes.
some interesting answers for this question. But let us
Or you,
know. Uh,
or you can flex the parang
mm,
most interesting dice set that you have because I know
yeah.
a lot of friends that has a lot of amazing dice. But yes, we are live right now in Facebook, not Instagram, pero baka pwede natin i-explore yung mag-live tayo in Instagram. We're live in Facebook, so if you're watching us in Facebook, please share this stream to your friends, to your family, and to your party mates. Come on, party
Oh,
mates,
dungeon
uh,
mates.
dungeon mates, and hmm, we are also live in YouTube right now. Nakakalimutan ko yung spiel ko. We're live in YouTube right now, so if you're watching in YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button so that you can get awesome content from us. Your
Yeah.
your amazing hosts, your kaagapay in your D&D journey. What's kaagapay in
Ano yung
English?
what is kaagapay?
Kaagapay, I think it's like your partner or like
Your
I,
adventure
I,
mates.
your adventure mate. Uh, I think we should answer the question of the stream first
Yeah,
while
sige,
waiting for people to
let's
pour
do that.
in the chat. Willow,
Uh,
what is your first?
galing ah. Nauna ka sa akin ah.
Nauna ako eh.
Ah,
Willow, what's
ah,
your first ever dice? Or
yeah,
kung marami ka ng dice set, what's your favorite?
yeah. I think you guys saw my first D&D game. We did it live here with DM Lance, who is part of the Greasy Snitches. So, shout out DM Lance. Thank you for that. I chose actually a set na black. Black na
Ooh,
may smoke because I was
nice.
a tiefling rogue. So I think that's still my go-to. I'm always into that mysterious kind of character. So I think I like that. But if I was to buy a dice set, I would like one of those glow in the dark metal ones. I've seen those
Ooh, ooh,
online,
ooh.
and grabe yung mga dice ng mga people who I've seen play D&D. Ang gaganda, ang bibigat ng dice nyo. So I do want an expensive set myself very very soon. So yeah, that I think
I
that
mean, it's like bling, it's like jewelry, it's something that you can express yourself with. And I've known
mm,
people who buy a set of dice specific to the character they're playing. For example, they're
yeah,
playing a cleric or a paladin, so parang mga whites or mga golds,
bright yellow
or
gold. Yeah,
someone playing like a barbarian, so parang mga blood red or parang mga dirt color, or
yeah,
and
with
then there are
blood
people.
stains, no, barbarian
Yeah,
Bloods. That's nice. Yeah.
actually, there is a lot uh,
Awesome.
of amazing dice sets out there.
How about
Of
you, Dwayne?
course.
What's your first or what's your favorite since you do play D&D? Uh
Okay,
Please do let us know. Yeah, meron ka.
I do actually have my dice set right here, and my first character is a tiefling bard.
Oh.
Tiefling is a parang devilish,
Mhm.
a playable character, and usually red yung skin ng tiefling. So I got myself a red dice.
Oh, that's
It's
awesome.
this
Is that
one,
yellow and red?
yellow and
Yellow.
red.
Mm.
Kasi my my skin is red and my hair is super blonde.
Whoa. That's nice.
Yes.
That's nice.
Although, if given a chance, I would like to have those. Do you know there are clear dice? Tas may mga little flowers inside.
Oh.
Oh,
Ah, yeah, yeah.
I
Resin,
love
yung mga resin,
yung mga
resin dice. Yeah,
resin.
yeah, yeah. That's cool.
I would
That's
love
cool.
to have a set.
I
Tas yung
think bagay
parang
sa'yo yun. Tas you're gonna be a bard again,
uh
like
k-
Chris.
yeah, cause Chris, my latest D&D character, is a bard cleric druid. So the
Yeah.
druid part dun papasok yung
Mm-hmm.
flowers.
That's awesome.
Uh,
But
wow.
yeah,
Okay. So let's check out the chat over here.
we
Kung ano
we
yung
we
mga
do we
responses
do
nila
have
so far.
answers. Sabi ni Abigail answering the GL question. Sabi niya, I picked pink because there was no teal. I'm sure there is, baka hindi lang available that time. But if given a choice, what would you get, Abby? Let us know. Frederick says, "Good evening, welcome to the stream." And Abigail says, "Hello pala." Nauna yung question answers dun sa question before
Excited eh.
mag-hello.
Excited to
Yeah.
answer the question.
Bilko said, bought the branded Pathfinder dice directly from Paizo. Paizo, is that
Ooh,
correct?
Paizo. Yes.
It's parchment colored. Ooh, parchment color. That's awesome. So it's like egg white ba? Off white. Tama ba? Off white brownish to brown.
Ano,
Is that,
parchment.
yeah,
Paper,
right?
paper, like the old paper color.
Oh, that's
Brown,
cool.
yellow, tas may mga coffee stains. I love.
Cool. Bilko, let us know. Welcome to the stream. First, but let us know what character you play. I'm just curious. Parchment dice. Wala lang. Frederick sabi, nung tambay ako sa store, natuwa ako sa black pink na dice. Oh, yeah. I've seen those. I've seen those.
Blackpink in
Pink.
your area.
Yeah, on the table.
Yeah.
Teddy answering the question of the stream, sabi niya, flaming red dice. Also, Teddy, what character
Yes.
you play in D&D? Do you play a wizard for some reason? Just a guess. Abigail also answering, my favorite dice was the one I got recently, this conquest at Daisuki dice.
Daisuke.
It's a mix of glittery pink and teal. There you go.
Ooh.
Finally, teal dice for you. Congratulations. John also answering, sabi niya, mine was the original red dice from the original D&D red box from TSR. Ooh, awesome. Yeah, have you not gotten a new set? I'm just curious, and yeah, but that's cool. Bilko said, brought a D&D branded dice for my group, for the whole group. Oh, that's awesome. It was branded, that costed 600. We even split the cost. That's awesome. Actually, hindi super expensive na dice, and it's really cool. Iba lang talaga when you really roll dice and that many dice. I get it now why D&D people really like dice. Dati kasi parang hindi ko gets eh.
Ano ba yung dice na yan?
Yeah.
Why do they have a lot?
Yeah. Michael answering the question of the stream, sabi niya, red maroon dice for me since that's my official color in all games. Ooh. Musta pala yung dice set mo, Dwayne?
Oh yeah. So I lost a couple of dice during Conquest. It's okay. It's par for the course. But it's fine. It happens. Usually as a dungeon master, you just have like many expendable dice. And
there you go.
It doesn't ruin the fun. It's okay. Now I have an excuse to get more dice.
True.
Right?
True, true, true.
Yes, yes.
Bilko answered, I play a Beastmaster fighter, Leshy. Leshy, I'm guessing Leshy. With a pet, tiger and vulture, inspired by Yaiba.
Y-
Yaiba?
Yaiba.
Only level 3 though. Oh, you're. Oh, I think we're the same level. I think I'm level 3, right? DM Lance is DM Lance here.
Yes, we're at level
I think
3.
I think I'm level 3
Although,
ish.
I'm quite sure we should have leveled up after our fight.
Oh yeah, so medyo level 4, level 4. I'm quite experienced myself. That's my first campaign. JP is still thinking about it. Let us know, JP, kung ano yung dice na your favorite or maybe a dice that you want.
Your favorite, it could be your favorite, most memorable, your very first, or like a wish list dice. Na
Yeah.
parang a dice that you would really love to have.
Yeah. Abigail also sabi, I want to own a certain dice from Dispel Dice. Ooh, which one? Which one?
Ooh,
Let us know
dispel
what it looks
dice.
like. Sabi rin ni Abby, palagi ako tinatanong ni Eman yan, ano daw gagawin ko sa maraming dice? Well, you'll play D&D and also you can actually use them in other games. I found out
Yes.
that it's fun to play other things with other dice. Minsan maganda rin kasi talaga iba yung dice when you buy dice sets from dice companies mismo than using dice from a board game. I don't know. I think that's yeah. Wala lang. But yeah, if you just came in, please do let us know your answer for the question of the stream, which is what color of dice would you pick for your first D&D game and why, or what do you use currently, or what's your favorite D&D dice set? Yon. But yeah, we're gonna have a top shelf tonight. If you guys don't know what top shelf is basically we have this shelf of beautiful, beautiful Kallax pa rin yun nandito pala, no? Yeah.
What's
And
your
we're gonna fill this
favorite?
up with what the category that we have tonight. And tonight our category is the things to bring for your D&D campaign. Maybe first timers or experienced na. This is gonna be nice because I'm like a newbie D&D player and Dwayne is gonna be the nag-DM na si Dwayne. So we're gonna have all of those. But also there's a chat shelf that you guys get to say what you think should be brought or brought into your first D&D game.
Yeah, this is very interactive. We give our best items that we'll put on the shelf, and then chat. We need your help because we whenever we do this top shelf, we learn a lot from you guys. Parang you teach me, I teach you. Pokemon.
Dungeon and Dragons. Sige, before we start, let's just finish off what we have in chat. Where did I stop? Did I stop with JP? No. JP said green or purple, my favorite colors. Ooh, Joker dice. Meron Joker
That's
dice, yeah.
nice.
I've seen Joker dice. It's very nice. Also, Sin, good evening. Welcome to the stream. Ayan, may link si Abby. Check those out. Let's see if we can get those. Sabi ni Bilko, when we were first starting, we shared one set of dice. We didn't know any better. Campaign lasted for 3 sessions. 10 years later now, we play 2 times a week. Oh, that's awesome. I only had one set of dice also when I started playing, but gets ko na why you want to have a lot, and it's worth it. But if you're just gonna start one set, okay lang yan. Share, experience it first. Sabi ni Abigail, gaming library ba ka naman? We'll check it out. Dispel dice.
I actually just checked it out. It is ang ganda.
There you go.
Ang ganda. It's so pretty. Sending, I think we need more dice.
Sabi ni Abigail, also D&D leather tome that I got from Hamey playing. We'll check those out. I think you're putting stuff already for the shelf. I'm gonna search those para malagay natin sa shelf. Sin, sabi niya, I had my dice dipped in holy water so to have blessed rolls. Colors are chromatic, dice are clear. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, Willow, I didn't even tell you yet that D&D players or any RPG players were very, very, very I'm looking for the word superstitious.
I
Na
know.
like for certain dice, we need to like bless them so that uh we can get like awesome rolls. And then if the dice is not performing, like rolling really poor, there's called a dice jail.
Yeah, I heard about the dice jail, or like the dice yeah, the dice box where you're not gonna get dice anymore or something. I've seen those in ano, in posts. I have I wala pa ako ganun kadaming dice, so I have to work with the dice that I have, which is ano, may relationship kami. Abigail is saying dice, dice, dice. Yep, we'll get into the shelf. Dice tray, sabi niya. We'll put that also. JP says, may waiting time ba? If yes, pwede sigurong filler game. Oh, sorry. Are you replying to something? Okay, and sabi ni Bilko, this is my favorite dice right now from Paizo. We'll check that out. Thank you for sending that. But I think we're gonna get into the top shelves to not keep you guys waiting for this one. We're gonna take turns on what do you think you should be bringing, or what you're supposed to be readying for on your first D&D campaign. And yeah, like what we said, I'm still a newbie in D&D. Dwayne is also already a game master, Dwayne John Master, and we have a top shelf. But I think to start, we're gonna have our traditional bato pick. Who to
Oh
pick? Who's
yeah,
gonna be
it's
first? Yeah,
the
it's
traditional
been a while.
bato pick.
It's
It
been a while.
is.
Yeah.
I am ready.
Okay, okay.
Ready?
You call it.
Bato. Bato, pick.
Okay, I always lose this
Okay,
now.
you go first.
Okay.
You always go first.
Because you always win. Okay, let's see. Yeah. But we've been talking about it, and from a newbie standpoint, I think the first thing you're gonna really really need in a game is dice. Well, buti ako yung nag-start kasi hindi pa ako masyadong madaming ano. But yes, very important yung dice. At first when we started, lalo na when we played it online, no, I was saying na I think we can just use the roll. What program did we use? Roll 20 ba? The
Roll
number
20,
generator
yes.
in Roll 20, and they were like, no, I think you should have a set of dice. And then I didn't get why, but then when we were playing, nagets ko na yeah, it's a lot better with dice, with physical dice. And iba lang talaga siya. Even if I was alone when I was playing my first D&D game and I was rolling my D20, the every roll parang sobrang exciting niya. And when I got those crits nung nag 20 crits ako, and also when you get those ones, parang it just has that sense of excitement. It's really exciting to do all of these things. So yeah, dice, one set is enough when you start, like me. But eventually I think you're gonna need multiples of certain dice, lalo na when you level up. You get I'm imagining now you get more spells to roll with, more dice to have more damage. And yeah, just to make it more, I guess, personal, na for this for this certain skill, for this certain magic, you're gonna use this certain dice. If you want a fireball, you're gonna use this fireball spell, you'd want this red dice, all of those things. But yeah, the dice, you need dice. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna put dice in my top shelf.
and certain character classes, they need certain amount of dice. Like for example, the wizard, they have the very popular
Mm-hmm.
spell called fireball. Fireball is 8d6, so you need 8
Dami.
d6s. So usually you add more d6s if you are playing a wizard or
Yeah.
your wizard main. Other characters, for example, barbarians, they usually use a d12. The rogues, well, you're a rogue, right? So you have
Yeah.
used a lot of d4s. That's
D4s.
your
Mm-hmm.
dagger, and
Multiple D4s, I remember.
so
Yeah.
that's also one reason why some players get more sets of dice, so that
Yeah.
whenever they roll, they just roll a fistful of dice and then throw it into the ether.
Yeah.
And for DMs out there, you also usually get more sets of dice so that when you're running to newbie players or to players without have their own sets of dice yet, you can lend them like, hey, use my dice. They're not cursed.
Hmm. Kunyari.
Kunyari
uh,
lang.
yeah, but I think we're gonna start off with that since we're talking about it already. Dice. You'd need a couple to start, but you'd want more eventually. So yeah, that's gonna be in my first shelf here.
Okay.
I think it's your go, and then I'll fill up chat shelf.
Okay.
While I look for it
Yeah.
to go.
So big caveat before we proceed this. Usually in playing D&D, you only really need dice. Everything else is optional but nice to have. Right.
Yeah.
So you can argue that D&D is a very cheap hobby to get into because you only need dice. Uh,
Yeah.
so, but if you want to expand and grow as a player, one source book that you would need or parang highly recommended to have is the player handbook.
Yeah.
It's this one. It's the player
So
handbook.
it's the player handbook. Hold up.
So
Let
the
me.
player handbook is like an encyclopedia. It has the core rules for the current edition of D&D. Right now it's the fifth edition. If you're playing
Yeah.
other edition, there are other editions of this book, and then you have everything here you need to play D&D. So you have the classes. You,
Everything is yeah. That's
you have the spells. You have like the playable races. Yeah, they're here. And you don't need to read everything. You can treat the player handbook like an encyclopedia. Na that, for example, if you just need information, a certain information, you
yeah.
just look at it. You don't need to memorize anything. Kasi
True.
it's quite a substantial book. And
Yeah.
actually, to tell you the truth, I don't have this memorized yet. No, I don't. I guess there are some DMs that through constant playing and running games, they would get to memorize the player handbook and the other source books, but not necessary.
Awesome. Yeah.
Ano pa ba? With player handbook, there are also online copies of this. You can also sign up for D&D Beyond, which is the official online
Yeah.
uh, repository for D&D source books. I usually build my characters in D&D Beyond because it's very efficient. Like you just click, and
True.
then it has everything.
True. Awesome. So player's handbook recommended by Mr. Dwayne Master. We do have an interesting question para lang before
Go
moving
ahead.
forward. Bilko is asking, what are you filling the shelf for? Things to prepare for my first session as a player or as a GM? As just in general, as you're playing as a player or as a GM, let us know. We're gonna be putting it there. Most of the stuff we're gonna be talking about is also a mix of both kasi mas nag-GM si Dwayne, and then it's one of my it's onti pa lang yung nalalaro ko na D&D. So yeah, just keep it coming. I'm sure it's gonna help a number of people here for the first player as a first session as a player or even as a GM. So yeah. And also Gino, welcome to the stream. What up? It's been a while. Yeah, welcome to the stream. We're talking about D&D. Let us know if you have your own set of dice already and what's your favorite. Yeah. Sin is asking, too bad can't make it, may have to run my own game. No worries. It's gonna be on Saturday and Sunday, yung Fantastic Faire. We're gonna be there the whole day. So if you want to bring your game there, why not, diba? Levi, welcome to the stream. Also, thank you for dropping by. Good evening to you. Abigail is saying, I have 4 sets now, one for every spell I have. There you go. Yay, dice. And kasunod lang doon, I want to say, sabi ni Sin, there is no such thing as enough dice. I agree ngayon actually. Before hindi ko na gets na parang dami naman dice ng mga tao. But then yeah, it's really nice if you yeah if you have a lot of dice. Sabi ni Bilko, okay, so we're gonna start putting up stuff
Oh,
in the chat shelf. Sabi niya, tokens to represent status effects. You can even use tokens from your board games. Green chips for poison, red for persistent fire damage, black ones if they're blinded. That's awesome. See?
oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that's a great pro tip. So, what I use are in my games are, do you know the PET bottles? When
Mm.
you unscrew the cap, there's like a
Yeah.
ring. Okay, so take that ring and then collect them, and then you can use different colors for different status effects. For example, paralyzed or grappled or blinded or anything and then you just put it on the miniature when you play the game, and it's very handy. It's very nifty. That's a very very good pro tip from Bilko.
Yeah, I'm just gonna my tokens. There you go. It's
Yeah,
I'm just
tokens.
looking for random tokens. Also, I saw kanina Abby was saying a dice tray. A dice tray is very helpful. So kasama ng dice tray very nice para hindi kung saan pumupunta yung dice, and also it's not gonna mess up the map or the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I, I'm gonna
also go.
I'm gonna show you my dice tray.
Oh
So
yeah,
it
there
is
you
a
go.
repurposed picture frame. So it's a picture frame, and then I just placed cork in the bottom. So this is the back. So picture frame, cork in the bottom, and then now it's a dice tray. Again, lots of DIY tips when you're playing D&D. But of course, you can go DIY and then you can go blinked out
Yeah.
version of D&D. It's your fun, diba?
Yeah. I also do have that. I bought one from IKEA. It was like 200 pesos. Thus you can technically just remove the glass and yeah, have a dice tray. Awesome dice tray.
or or you just search your house if there are like the picture frames that you are not using, or if you're using any like bamboo trays, wooden trays, you can just cover the bottom so that it could have like a felt or a velvet, or for me cork bottom, so that when you roll the dice it will roll smoothly
Yeah.
or nicely.
Sabi ni Sin, in back in the day only sheets, pencils, lots of dice, players handbooks, and DM guides. None of the fancy figs and board maps. I mean, we should be happy kasi nag-improve na ngayon. We'll get more into that later. Sabi ni Gino, our group uses the D&D Beyond app, also on browser. Mostly used for character sheets and some dice rolling. Then we have a physical copy of the player's handbook and monster manual lying around. Though the app also has these among a lot of other features. Yeah, I've used yung D&D Beyond yung ginamit ko when in my first game, and it was easy to browse, easy to look at your character,
Yes.
which is a big plus for this. Sige, last one before we continue. Sabi ni Gian, gridded map helps a lot about distances and movement. I agree. We should put that here. I've seen a lot nung sa Greasy Snitches. They did have this. They were just wala silang they had prepared maps, but also they were just drawing it, which is nice. It's a very uh helpful visual aid for lalo na for first time players, no. Yung gridded map. Yeah, there you have it.
I
uh
have it.
yeah, sige, I think we're gonna go to our next one just so we can put, baka maubos ng chat yung mga sasabihin natin.
You know what? Go lang. Just
uh
keep it coming, Chad. We want an avalanche of ideas and pro tips. Again, we're learning a lot as well.
yeah. Yeah, my next one is basically, wait lang. Basically, this really helped me. I didn't know it was gonna help me. I was just playing around with it, and basically nasabi na rin, it was D&D Beyond or your character sheet. This is for remembering a lot of things.
I totally
uh,
agree.
I remember one moment dun sa D&D game with Lance. Lalo na in D&D Beyond, it says it had this sheet, this tab that says parang when you're making decisions, it's gonna kind of help you out kasi this is the character that you made. And I remember na it says that my character, I chose this when I was creating the character, that my character was a a thief who always looks dun sa good in everyone. And then there was this one choice that we had to make, to kill a person or not to kill a person. And then parang for me, I would kill, if it was just me, I would kill the person. But then I looked at my character sheet, D&D Beyond, tas nakalagay na, yeah, I remember I made him a very good person that looks in the good in everyone. So yeah, there are just a lot of things kasi you're gonna be taking note of, I guess, in D&D. And hindi siya nakaka hindi siya nakakatakot to remember, but you know, you parang it just helps that you have it there physically. So yeah, a really good character sheet, or yeah, if a lot of you would like to use D&D Beyond, really good version of this character sheet. Yeah.
I totally agree. And I will go straight now to my second recommendation in our top shelf because it's connected there. It is a pencil and a notebook. So the pencil you use to mark down in your character sheet. D&D is a very fluid game. You have your hit points. You might get damaged, so you can just cross out your hit points and then mark down your new hit points. It's nice to use a pencil. You also have spells, so you might use your spell slots. For example, you can just write down whatever, and then you can take down notes. For example, if you're doing a campaign, you can take down notes of the people that you meet in your campaign, the important details that you have gathered, especially if you are doing a mystery or like an investigation. You might get to find some details that you need to come back to, and it's nice to have notes. As a DM, I really appreciate when my players take notes because I can see that the players really are engaged, are really paying attention to what I am offering and I'm saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, pencil, any kind of pencil, and then notebook. Notebook is nice because you're stored in everything in one nice
Yeah.
notebook. Loose
I,
sheets of paper is not recommended because you might lose them, or the back of your character sheet can also be used. But for me, I really like everything in one nice
yeah.
contain.
I remember you have these notes when we were playing nung nung online, cause yeah, when you get really immersed in it, as you're thinking about decisions that you're gonna be making, parang nakakalimutan mo na yung main objective why you're on that side quest or that ano. And then you were reminding us,
Yes.
you being the smart one in the group, you were reminding us we're looking for a little girl. And
Yeah.
I forgot, oh nga, no, we were looking for a little girl.
And
But I
then
was just exploring. Yeah.
this is very important if you're doing a campaign. For example, you play every week. You might forget what happened the last week. So it's
True.
nice to put things in a notebook so that you won't forget.
That is
Or
true.
and then like there are certain cases I have played many a moons long ago, a campaign wherein there's a reveal in the campaign. I forgot what was.
Ooh.
I don't want. Anyway, I don't think I will spoil it because it's a hardcover. But once it is revealed, I look through my notes and my, oh wow, we and that, and
Yeah.
then it was
Those moments.
super satisfying. Na parang we remember this. We met this person. Things things happened. You remember, and
Mm-hmm.
then it's super fun.
Yeah, it helps a lot if you take note of things. So yeah, notebook and pencil, really good thing to bring on your first game. We do have a tip from Sin. Sabi niya, think of your concept character a day before and then coordinate with your DM to be.
That is very
Uh,
good.
Session 0, I think, is what they call this, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And normally when you're starting as a newbie player, you will go down the tropes. Like for example, a paladin that is very self-righteous and will only do good, or like uh a bard that is very sexual,
Yeah.
or a barbarian that is also always going into rage. And then when you start there, that's very good, because tropes, they're there for a reason. But you can also break those tropes, and then, for example, you can take ideas from popular movies, TV series, anime that you have watched, and then you can coordinate with your dungeon master, like, how can I bring this character to life? How can I play this character? And the dungeon master usually would help you out creating your perfect character, creating your perfect background, so that
Mm-hmm.
you can breathe life into this two-dimensional character.
Yeah. I think that's what helped me dun sa first session natin with DM Lance also. I got into the game. I went into the game thinking na parang, yeah, I'm just gonna make a character. Tapos, while I was playing the game, parang, oh, may feelings na yung character ko.
Diba? It
Yeah.
slowly get fleshed out. And for example, normally a rogue is like a criminal, and then you played a rogue, but you change it, like,
Yeah.
rogue criminal background was pushed into this kind of life, but with a heart of gold. So parang
Yeah.
reluctant to kill, would like to
Still always
do
stealing though,
things.
but
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
do things peacefully, pero very, di ba, parang it's like another level to the usual common trope, and that's
Uh,
a really great
yeah.
way to put spice, to put life in your character.
Yeah. So that session zero really helps, and also just talking to your DM and the players you're gonna play with actually before the game. It would really help you guys.
Correct.
My comments, sabi ni Gian, either pinakamura or pinakamahal itong D&D hobby. Depende sa group ng players.
Correct. That
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
so true.
Yeah, pwede rin kasi kayo mag-cosplay and everything dun sa D&D game niya. But yeah. I mean, you don't have to.
Cosplay,
You
getting
don't
all
have
the
to.
source books, getting
Mm.
metal dice, which is quite expensive. I know that there are like veteran players who have custom made tables, wherein their table has their inset, and then has a flat screen TV wherein they can change the terrain. I've known people who have collected many miniatures, and then the terrain as well. So the
Yeah, that's
mats,
awesome.
you can go that route, and then go for it if you have the the time, the money, and the gusto. But you can also do DIY.
Yeah.
Nothing, I mean, again, it could be the cheapest or the most expensive hobby. The important thing is that you are with your group of friends and you're having fun.
Yep.
Yes.
Sige. Let's continue with chat first. Sabi ni Sin, pencils for the sheets. Thank you for that. I think we do have it. I'll add it
Yes.
in this chat shelf also in a while. Sabi ni Abigail, the deck of many animated spells, a cool way to upgrade a wizard spell. That is true.
You mean these?
These ones. Hindi siya animated sa screen, but yeah,
I mean,
they
it's
do
hard to
move.
animate on screen.
Pero cool nga to.
I can animate here in the screen, For example, you cast Animal Friendship.
Go. Ay,
Look,
sorry.
there's a fox.
Go show it. Yeah, it's so super cool. Gusto ko nga din yan eh. I told you, I think I wanted to create a character tapos put everything like in a picture frame and put it up my wall. Tas animated siya.
Yes.
So it looks really cool. But yeah, thank you for that, Abby. Sabi ni Sin, I remember that game of yours with DM Lance with the mannequins attacking you and doing. Yeah, that was the game. Yeah,
Yes.
that was the game. Sige. Before we get into more of chat stuff, let's get into our shelf. Yeah, this one. I really like this one kasi I can't really show it, but the next one is my recommendation is a miniature or a drawing or a anything that you would look at yung looks actually ng character. This one nasabay lang kasi natin yung pagpaint ng miniatures, first time painting a miniature also. This is my character Angelo Robin Hood na ginawang tiefling, looks like Thanos, but yeah, this really helped me actually to visualize kung anong kind ng character ko and what he would be doing dun sa game. And also we had to like submit some photos kasi parang while you're playing the game, you remember, oh, I do have this, let's say, I do have this hood. Maybe my decision making dun na I would cut my hood and turn it into like a bag or something. Those
Yes.
decisions, it just helps a lot if you have a visual representation of your character. It doesn't have to
Correct.
be a
Yeah.
miniature. Maybe you can just draw it. You can get a photo from Google Images or whatever. But it helps that you have a visual aid of how your character looks like, I think. Kahit mag-edit ka lang ng photo ng mo. Picture mo sarili mo, then edit mo. But yeah, I think it really helps. That got me way more immersed than I thought while playing nung games ko. So yeah, a
Yes.
miniature or a visual representation of your character. There you go. I'll put that in my shelf. Really well done dun sa painting. Joke lang. Yeah, that's my third.
In relation to that, I would like to share that usually in any role-playing games or D&D in specific, there are two schools of thought. So those are the ones that you assist with a miniature and a battle map, and there are the ones that what you call theater of the mind, wherein you don't have minis, you don't have map, you just have the dungeon master explaining or describing things, the scenario, the environment, and you as players you describe what you want to do. Normally it's nice to have a miniature, and
Mm-hmm.
my third item in the list, which is a battle mat. So
Battle
a
map.
battle mat like this, so it's double sided, so it's grass, and then
Oh.
this is like dungeon terrain, and then so that you can put your miniatures here, and then you can now have like strategy or tactics when facing different enemies.
Awesome.
You can also use hmm, uh, um, uh, uh, dry erase markers, and you can just write on your mat. For example, you can write like walls or like hallways or a room, and then you can just draw on it like that.
That's awesome.
Wa- Put your mat, and then after you're done, you can just erase it.
So like a smaller version of that battle grid or map grid. Pwedeng
Yeah,
separate pa yun, pwedeng hindi, no? I think
for
that would...
me, I broke it up to pieces and then I just
Okay.
assembled it.
That's awesome.
There are other battle maps that it's like a whole flat sheet, and then you either roll it or you fold it.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
up to you. And then I know DM Paul uses tiles. So usually a 3x3 or a 4x4 tile, and then you place the tile. Uh, Different ways of using this. And why do we use this? Because it helps you visualize what you have.
True.
For example, when you enter a room, and then if you can see on the map, oh, there's a chair over there, maybe I could stand on the chair, or maybe I could
Yeah.
pick up the chair, or like, oh, in the room there's a lantern, maybe I could pick up the lantern and then I will throw it in the enemy so that it will burn the enemy. So it helps with the imagination, it helps with spatial awareness, it helps with
Yeah.
uh Instagrammability of the game,
True.
because it's like, oh, you take picture of where you are, it's so nice, and you take
Yeah.
a picture, and then it's like
Yeah.
a fun memory.
Yeah, I remember like dun sa isang map ni DM Lance, there was like an altar, tas may stone sa likod, stone wall or something. And then I remember doing like a ninja move, jumping on the altar, then bouncing off the wall before striking with the dagger. And I wouldn't have thought of doing that if I didn't see it like visually na parang may ganon.
Yeah,
Which is
it,
helps a lot. Yeah.
it helps with people na parang mas visual learners, not
Me.
really learners, parang people who absorb information visually
Yeah.
rather than auditory, kasi when the DM describes, you just listen to, maybe you miss something, pero
Mm-hmm.
if you look at the board, oh, there's a rock over there, maybe I can hide.
Yeah. That's why I only read books with pictures. Hindi, joke lang. But yeah, it helps a lot. Yeah. Let me check ang kanina, I think sabi ni Sin, it was the pencil for the sheets. Let me just put that in the chat shelf because
That's
everything
a
here
lot of
is
pencils.
important. I mean, you can share.
Yeah.
Daming pencils nga. Let me put pencils there. Sabi naman ni Gino, here you go. Sabi ni Gino, tip for immersion, a good playlist on Spotify for some atmospheric instrumental music, town music, dungeon battle music. Yes, 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 yes.
Definitely.
I think we tried doing this no is yung couple of streams natin. Yeah, it helps a lot. And also it helps here, sabi ni Sin, there is a playlist for D&D on Spotify now. That's awesome. So we're gonna just put Spotify on the chat shelf kasi Spotify playlist
Yeah.
there.
So
Music.
there are already playlists in Spotify. There are also other apps that gives you like mood music. You can also search for YouTube. There's like D&D creepy background music. There's a lot of that. There are also specific apps like Sirenscape that gives you like you can press buttons and then like a door creak
That's
or
awesome.
like a horse footstep. Tuk, 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 tuk. I mean, it it's again.
Makes
These are
sense.
nice to have, not necessary. But if you really want to level up your D&D game, go for it.
Immersion. Yeah, that's cool.
Immersion.
Yeah. Subni Bilko, index cards for item spells, status effects, etc. You can even hand them during initiative rolls, then fold in half to make a tent to represent initiative order. It's
Yes.
awesome. Index
Especially if
cards.
you're a spellcaster, usually you have a lot of spells, and then you're right. Instead of just because you can look at them in the player handbook, but every time you will flip through the book, that's cumbersome. So just write
Yeah.
down, okay, this is my spell, this is how far I can
Yeah.
cast, this is
That's
the number of
nice.
targets that it can affect, and then the damage,
Mm-hmm.
and then everything that you need in one nice small index card. That's very good. Thank you, Bilko.
Sabi ni Sin, as a player, unless you have the 5E app, no looking on your mobile device. Yeah. And I think I'm
Ah,
gonna go into
yeah.
my next one. My next pick, and very close to this, but I just want to say, when you're gonna be playing D&D, I think it's important to wala na akong photo manap, but respect. Bring
That's
respect.
actually very nice.
Bring respect. Respect to the players, respect to the DM, respect basically to the game kasi D&D, I know there parang minsan may laughable moments, and minsan nagkakamali, lalo na when people are really getting into it and role playing and doing stuff. I think just to really have a good time, just respect everyone who's playing the game. If may decision ka na gustong gawin tas ayaw ng group, just I think it's important to bring respect to a D&D game, and to really have a good time sa start mo pa lang. I think in your first one, I wish you bring respect to your game, to the lalo na to the DM, no, like not everyone can do what they're doing. And also for DMs naman, I'm guessing if you're doing it to some players, even if ayaw mo yung person dun sa group nyo, hopefully hindi mo naman siya like do stuff that you just to break the person's experience para hindi na siya pumunta dun sa next but yeah, I think bring respect.
Yeah, this one I totally agree because D&D is a social game. You cannot play it alone. Usually you play it with a group of people, and then you have to work to a certain degree, work together, work with each other because you're a team. Uh, sometimes you will hear there are stories na there's this character that would just do whatever he wants because it is quote unquote my character.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you would also like to keep in the back of your head that it's important to have your fun, but it's also have to have fun with each other, and part of it is to have respect with each other.
Yeah.
So Part of respect is like whenever someone is talking, for example, the DM is giving
Yeah.
information, you listen. If someone is having like a very critical moment, you support them.
Yeah. Or
Uh,
yung wag yung nagbabarahan kayo in the
or yung
game, you
parang,
know.
hindi,
Yeah.
wala ka man dyan,
Yeah,
ganyan.
that just
Parang,
breaks a little bit of the experience for everyone.
unless that is the type of game that you want to play, and
Yeah.
that is the type of those are the things that you need to talk with each other during the start of the game, during session zero. So for example, normally in a D&D game, there is a in session zero, there's called lines and veils. There are things that, for example, you don't want to be discussed, like gory stuff, like
Yeah.
I cannot handle too much gore, so maybe if we can just skip it, very good. Or uh yeah, so for example, if you discuss them, be honest with your dungeon master and with your co-players, you will all have fun together.
Yeah. There you go.
Wala lang.
Sige, let's quickly go into the next before you do yours.
Sige,
Sabi ni
sure.
Bilko, deck of endless NPCs from Paizo for the DM. Have a random NPC ready in less than 5 seconds. It has attitude, background, name, etc. Looks
That's
sounds
great.
very sounds very helpful, honestly. I don't know if it's this one, but ito yung na-search ko, so I'm gonna put
I
this
think
in the shelf.
that's
Okay.
Pathfinder.
Okay. There you
uh
go.
for those who are not familiar, by the way, Pathfinders is um lovably called D&D 4.75.
Really?
Parang it's an offshoot of D&D. So very similar with D&D. It's also a role-playing game. Has similar systems, pero a little bit different.
Yeah. There
So
you go.
that's Pathfinder.
Your next
My
I
next
can't
one,
move it.
speaking
Never
of
mind.
respect, and this one is a little bit, it's always a challenge, is finding a common schedule to play. Because, for example, you play in this event, the D&D Fantastic Fair, and you find your adventuring group, and then say, "Hey guys, let's play again. Let's continue the campaign," and then you realize that you try to find a common schedule with each other so that you can play again. And if you agree on a schedule, try as much as possible to meet that schedule.
Yes,
Like, do
please.
not be late. Part of
Be
respect is
there.
respecting each other's time. uh and if you're not available, you say ahead of time, because people, D&D players, they really carve out time to play D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, D&D is a time sink. You need a couple of hours to play D&D, because
Yep.
you're building a story, and it's not just like, okay, one and done, okay, we fight, done.
Yeah.
You- so yeah, so just
Schedule.
respect the schedule, and make a schedule work, a nice schedule.
Calendar na lang naisip mo ilagay.
That's that. Tama
I think
naman.
wala na ako pa. Okay. Quickly, next chat, sabi ni Gian, instead of escape rooms, let's replace those with D&D room. DM for hire. Sana ma-experience ng lahat ito. This game really transports me to a different world, and I get to roleplay some interesting characters. Play D&D with my fam and kids, and their imagination and creativity blew me away. Walang age limit itong game. I agree.
I
Which
agree.
yeah, that's why I think I've been inviting a couple of friends na hindi board gamers actually to try out D&D, and they were scared at first, but I'm saying just just think how your character thinks, just play, and yeah, it's fun. I agree with that. Sabi ni Sin, yes, schedule so to set a new or continue the campaign. Yeah, very
Yes.
important. Yon.
With regards to, I mean, in an ideal world, we will have more DMs, D&D games. But honestly, in the Philippines, we're still in a very nascent stage. Um,
Yeah.
in my experience, I know of D&D, but it took me a long time until I found my group, which is the Greasy Snitches. And then, so when I found a group, usually in Facebook, and then, because before, D&D groups, they're very uh insular. Like they just play with their own group and they don't go out and then invite people to come play
Yeah.
D&D. That's why when I found a group and then eventually we ran games, public games, we want to share the love of the hobby, the amazing stories that we can come up with. And
Yeah.
slowly but surely we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
And especially right now with Stranger Things, super popular, and there's a new upcoming movie, D&D Honor Among Thieves, and I think
You. It's gonna pop.
more and more people will
It's
get
gonna
into
blow up for
playing
sure.
D&D.
Yeah. Gino says essential must bring the yes and spirit. Just lean in and enjoy. I appreciate a DM who can play along with all the shenanigans the group does. I agree. Yeah. And so I think that's gonna really go well with the last one that I put in my list. But I hope you guys know this meme. We're not that old, but yes, imagination,
Imagination.
imagination and fun. Yeah. You just be ready to play, have fun. Don't be scared with sharing your thoughts, but with the veils and the what do you call it a while ago,
Lines and
lines and
veils.
veils. Just
So
remember na may
parang what
mga
are your
ganon.
lines?
Yeah.
Parang that you don't want to cross, and then veils, what do you want to keep hidden from you?
Yeah.
I mean,
So
with stories that usually medieval things are really like bad things are
yeah.
happening, but you don't need to put it in your game like in
True.
front of your face.
True. Lalo na if someone is not comfortable dun sa
Correct, correct.
veil niya. But yeah, just bring your imagination. Get ready to really use your imagination in when you're playing a game of D&D. All of these visual stuff helps, but the way the game is to be enjoyed, I think, is when you really pour in some effort to the imagination. I remember uh nung in one of our games, I think it was the second game, pin DM Lance told us na we're in a caravan, and may nakasulat in a piece of paper, but you can't make anything out of it. Parang naka-etch na lang siya. And then I remembered na I used to do that when I was a kid. You with the coin, remember? Like parang pag inano mo yung coin sa paper, tas tinrace mo ng pencil, it's gonna show sa paper. And then wala lang. It's really nice na you remember that, you put it into play into your D&D game, and in a helpful way dun sa group. So yeah, just just be ready to bring your imagination, and really try to share it with your wag kayo matakot. Yeah. But there you
Yeah.
go.
And
Imagination.
I had experience running for kids because we had a partnership before with the British International School of Manila. We ran for kids,
Ooh,
and
awesome.
the kids, they really have like great imagination. It's super fun to run. And I think there's a certain point in our life na parang after when we're past that we're not kids anymore, na parang we hesitate, we like maybe this is not a good idea, maybe I don't do this, maybe I'm not good enough. And then you need to break through that feeling so that you can really enjoy
Yeah.
the most, whether in D&D or in life, diba?
Yeah,
You say
true.
yes to opportunities, you make moves, you go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's gonna be your last pick before we
Yeah.
end. Yep.
Yes, speaking of, I think Gina already mentioned it. But I am going, my last one is it's a two-parter. One is improvisational skills. We've already talked about that. And
Mm.
D&D is
Storytelling.
a communal storytelling game. You're with a group, the dungeon master sets the setting, but you, the players, you make the decisions that move the story forward. So
Yeah.
um make fun stories,
Yeah.
live in your character, like what would my character do, how would I make this character move forward in this game. Before, I think it was mentioned a while ago, when you're making character backgrounds, you can talk
Mhm.
with your DM. You can also talk to your other players. For example, when we started our D&D game, we decided that we would play
Oh
as
yeah.
brothers.
Yeah.
Diba? So that we already have that existing relationship, and then we can have like that brotherly banter, like si Kuya Morhag hindi masyadong
Yeah.
loving, pero we know that love naman niya kami. The bunso si Willow medyo pasaway ganyan.
Yeah.
So you you can make relationships with other player characters so that you can move the story forward, and as you go along you can, like, what would happen to your relationship? Would you be
True.
closer to each other? Would you have
Will you
like a
fight?
rift?
Will you break it
Fight,
off?
become a
Yeah.
rival? Yeah. So there's a lot of things that you can discover with stories and storytelling, and D&D is an amazing
Yeah.
uh tool or avenue for that.
Yeah. I remember nung first session natin parang ginulat din, hindi naman sa ginulat, but sh- uh, we were we were asked to make what are you currently doing ganyan, and I was
Yeah.
I remember like, oh yeah, parang, oh yeah, I'm in the shed, I just got off the blah blah whatever. Yeah, so yeah, wala lang. It's really nice to put s- story, a helpful story to help also the DM make the story a
Yes.
really good one. I think that's the, yeah, but
That's
cool.
part of it is saying yes, and like for example, if for example, Willow decides to steal the Willow tole. Your character Angelo decided to steal something. I mean, I mean, would I help Angelo by creating a
Yeah.
distraction? Maybe I
Mm-hmm.
could, or
Yeah.
I could also like It depends on your character, but try to push the story forward, not say no.
No,
Don't
I don't want
do
to do that.
that.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. No.
Yeah.
See, if you say no, it's like already a wall. You're blocked off. But if you say
Yeah.
yes, and you don't know where you're like, what if Angelo gets caught? So
Yeah.
uh, go to the prison. Then it's now a prison break story,
Yeah.
diba?
So, yeah, really helpful stuff from chat. Thank you guys for helping us put up a top shelf for your game as a D&D player or a DM. Let's end with some chats from Gino. Sabi niya booze helps too, but not too much. We ended up playing Drunkards and Dragons once. I mean, yeah, if everyone's an adult, imagination will flow. And sabi ni Sin naman, lastly, enjoy the game. Don't forget, this is a team effort game. Yeah. So
Correct.
teamwork.
That is so true.
Yeah, and I think the goal for the DM and for the goal of the DM is for you guys to enjoy the game, and the goal of the players is to enjoy the game. So if you're playing with a group, hopefully you see it as a team effort game na parang, oh, I'll help you even when you're trying to create the characters. If my suggestions come, maybe you can help out others. All of these things. But yeah, yeah. Thank you guys for letting us know your tips and your suggestions. But let me just recap everything. For me, my suggestions for a first-time player would be bring dice, bring your character sheet, have a image or a miniature of your character, bring respect, and bring a lot of imagination.
For me, it's a player handbook, pen and notebook, battle mats. Try to find a nice schedule, and then bring your A game in storytelling.
Yeah, and for chat, eto madami to. Tokens, a dice tray and dice. Do your session zero really well. Have a music playlist, a battle mat or grid, deck of many spells, animated spells to bling out some spell cards using index cards para mas madali, NPC cards, and then pencils, a bunch of pencils. Yeah. So yeah, really good session with everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. But let's invite everyone here currently. If you want to invite people to start playing D&D or other role-playing games, yes, other role-playing
Yes.
games. Fantastic Fair is gonna be this weekend, July 30 and 31.
Yes,
Uh,
so
but
D&D Fantastic Fair is this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, July 30 to 31. I think we will start at around 11 in the morning
ooh,
and at around 8, 9,
fun.
depending on when the games end. This will be in the Trading Post, 4th floor, 1 Bonifacio High Street Mall in BGC.
Nice.
It has been the home of 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 I don't know, our events.
Yes.
Uh, so we will have Dungeons and Dragons game, both Adventures League, and we will also have the Islands of Sinauna. We also have
Ooh,
Poke Roll, which is a
noise. I wanna play that.
Pokemon role playing game. You play as a trainer, and then you have your Pokemon, and then you
Ah, that's
adventure with them.
exciting.
That is actually super fun. I played that game. There's also City of Mists, wherein you play as normal quote unquote humans, but infused with powers of myths and gods and fairy tales.
Awesome.
Really, really, really interesting. Again, that is this weekend, July 13, 31. This is ran by our friends from the Greasy Snitches.
Of course.
DM Lance, our DM, is one of the DMs there. What else? Two things. Okay, so we do have a uh the quote unquote D&D Fantastic Quest for this session will
Ooh,
be very, very easy lang. Just play a game and take a picture or a video, post it in social media and Facebook, and then use the hashtag D&D Fantastic Quest, tag Gaming Library, and you can get a chance to win either uh, a set of polyhedral dice.
ooh.
So
Nice.
these ones, I mean,
Nice. A
not
whole
exactly
set.
this one because this is mine, or a D&D folio, like a
Oh.
notebook wherein you
Character
have a
book. Yeah.
character sheet, a notebook you can write down things that we have stated in our show uh
Awesome.
earlier. So that's one. Next is we do have for this weekend only and only in Gaming Library in BGC a buy two get one promo for selected items. Buy two
Wow.
take one. It's the same deal that we have had in ToyCon, and we're like medyo bitin. Let's do it again. So we're
Nice.
doing it again this weekend. If you get a chance, go drop by, have fun, play D&D
Yay.
and or board games.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Uh,
I'll bring Unmatched if anyone wants to play.
yes. Grabe,
Uh,
unmatched. Unmatched is I love unmatched. What
but
if merong mga D&D characters
D&D
in
Unmatched.
Unmatched?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Anyway, uh,
Uh,
no, that's not
Anymore?
yet
There's
it.
more. I'm
There's
skipping.
more. If you go to the gaming library and then board games coming soon, we do have games here that will be coming soon. As in soon. We don't have any exact date because if we have the exact date already, it goes to the pre-order. We do have Brazil Imperial, the Red
Oh,
Cathedral, and Ultimate Railroads. Along with
whoa.
other games, a lot more games coming here, coming soon.
Yeah, and Brazil Imperial, Red Cathedral, and Ultimate Railroads. There you go. Awesome.
Yeah.
Coming soon. We have a question. Sabi ni Dana, BGC branch lang po. Yes, I think just the
Yes,
BGC
BGC
branch
branch
for the
only
promo and the
for the
event.
promo.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it for tonight. Thank you guys for watching and chatting with us. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We'll see you guys there in the event on Saturday and Sunday in
Yeah,
BGC. Yeah. If you have any questions on the event, please do join G Live Game Night community or you can message Gaming Library in Facebook. But for tonight, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys then. Peace.
bye bye.